A couple of years ago, a local HMO approached the Y on trying to do something impactful in the community around childhood obesity. And our CEO and I kind of did some research and put some plans together on what we thought would be kind of different steps for different age groups. So that was the first step. The second step was then looking for a curriculum and saying, we're not going to develop a curriculum. I knew that right from the get-go, that I was not going to develop a curriculum, that there was a lot of curriculum out there that we could go after. So we started doing some research. We talked with the YMCA of the USA. We've talked to some other people at Springfield College, at Purdue University, and everybody pointed to Catch. And through my research and through talking with people at Flag House and through talking with the folks at University of Texas, we really thought that this was the way to go.
We did an initiative about 10 years ago, not anywhere to this scale. It was called Fun and Fit. And the concept was that we would send instructors to each of the sites. It fell flat on its face because the reality was we needed to have the buy-in from the local staff who were deployed in multiple locations to be able to have champions of this program at the local level.
Where should you be? Outside! Say it one more time! Outside!
We put a high priority in this association on training, and so that was kind of the first thing, is how we were going to train folks. And the folks at Catch and the University of Texas worked hand in hand with us to create the right training, how we were going to do it, how many people we were going to have. We had say with the agenda of how the agenda would flow, and that was the first thing. And the second thing was taking a look at equipment and what our needs were with equipment, and then just putting an implementation plan in place after those two things were kind of solidified.
It's a new way to do things in the gym. It's not just a program, but it's a new way to do things for kids to have a time in the gym, and they're utilizing it at their most. Back 15 years ago, it was just a babysitting service, and it's still in that mindset, and it's going to hopefully slowly, gradually come up into saying that it's a consistent program from the school to the after school, and parents don't necessarily see that.
We have this program in large after-school locations and small ones, and that's what's neat about it, is that we did not come up with the curriculum. We were able to take that curriculum and obviously have the local folks trained in it, but that was a refreshing change for a Y that typically kind of does its own thing, and it was a great spirit of collaboration, and I think it was a tailor-made fit for what we were looking for, which was the challenge from our initial funder, was how to impact children's health and nutrition on a grand scale. And so that's how the two came together.
I mean, the basic rules of Catch are, activity from the get-go, warm up and cool down, non-elimination games, and setting boundaries. There's other rules that go along with it, but those are the three basic rules. It's just to make sure that you're providing opportunities for all children to move at all times.
I've been with the YMCA for now 15 years, and I started out as a staff assistant, and working our way up, I knew what we did in the gym: dodgeball, kickball. Kids stood around, and during that time when they're standing around, behavior management was a huge piece because they were fighting on the side. So with Catch, you're constantly moving.
Some of my kids that go here were missing, they get 2 days of PE at school, maybe 3 if they were lucky, and so they weren't getting physical education, period. And so when you guys came in, it changed the way we approached it, because, at times in the past, we've had games that were competitive based, only, basketball or football or kickball, and now we have games where we're moving, we're having fun, but no one's like, I won, you lost. And before they know it, they've worked for 30 minutes, maybe longer, depending on a good session, and they're having fun.
You see staff starting to change their health behaviors, and not wanting to be poor role models, wanting to be very good role models for the children, not bringing in soda anymore, playing the games. And you find that they start working out outside of work, and they start feeling better, and they start feeling, their self-esteem starts to raise, and all of a sudden they feel good about themselves and about what they're doing, and rather than, going in the other direction. So I think that has really been a good benefit.
But we make it as fun as possible for them and keep it going nonstop. And one of the things that they said in our trainings was that we have high energy. So your trainers need to have that high energy and that hype up, that because it motivates them. So anybody that's training this program has to understand it, what the philosophy is, and how it's going to envelop the whole program, not just in the gym, but also in snack time, in homework time, in arts and crafts, in science and nature, and all that type of stuff.
I got involved with Activate America actually from a lot of collaborative work that the University of Rochester has done with a number of community agencies. Rochester is a very fortunate place that we've been able to have a strong tradition of what we call community pediatrics, and we've been involved with agencies all across the community related to Department of Health, early childhood, child development, substance abuse, domestic violence, a number of health conditions. My interest was around childhood obesity and the cardiovascular health of kids, and so the thing you want to do for that is get kids to exercise more, be more active, eat better. And the YMCA just happened to come along as a partner at the time that was really moving forward. At the same time, I had located to the area and expressed this interest, so we had matched up through some community meetings, and with my background and interest and the energy and effort of the Y, we've really come together to create a small piece, but an important piece that's related to this puzzle for children and families. One program going on right now is the Activate America program, and within that they've expanded physical activity within their after-school program. They've adopted a research-developed and validated study called the Catch curriculum and incorporated parts of that into the after-school program to get kids much more physically active and get them moving more in an after-school setting. The really nice thing about that is it's mostly run in the after-school programs in a very large number of practices that hits a very high-risk group of young adults in the community. It's mostly based in the city.
Well, certainly, I think that the Catch program covered a couple key areas for us. One was the commitment of the Y to have an impact on the health of children. And so when you look at that, you look at that daunting task and you say, where can we deliver this and how can we deliver this? And we didn't look much farther than our school-age child care programs because we knew that we had an audience of a couple thousand kids that could be impacted by this, but we had to have the right curriculum. And Ys have struggled with this for years, the inconsistency of curriculum at school-age child care, where you might have one or two staff at a certain location that have a certain bent toward this. This was tailor-made. When the Catch folks adapted the curriculum to work for after-school settings, I think a light bulb went off.
Started to look at what else we do inside our school-age child care program. Healthy nutrition, obviously hugely important. Daily movement, hugely important for the children, but it also gave us the chance to kind of say, all right, what else are we doing with hands-on science experiments that relate to the health message, that relate to the movement? What are we doing for homework assistance for the children that relate to all the things that we're currently doing in the school-age child care program? So really stepped up our programming, not only getting the kids moving, that was hugely important, and then getting these messages out to children, but also what they were doing on a daily basis outside of that time.
We are going to play Jagged Beast on that.
I enjoyed immensely. Ask some of my colleagues I work with, I enjoyed immensely. It gives me inner peace when I know I've left here and I've affected 10 to 15, 20 kids. They go home and say, Mom, I had fun today at the Y. We did this, this, and that. And, friendships are made here. And the focus is, I love this piece that you guys put in it. It's not necessarily competitive. It's cooperative. And they're moving. One of the things I like to do here with our older group, our preteens, our 10 to 12s, is have them be assistant teachers or like coaches. And they'll be out with me or out with other staff leading activities so the younger ones can follow. I can send them to a smaller group and say, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to try this. Okay, everybody jump up high, jump up tall. And I can have an older kid stand right next to a 5-year-old and say, okay, you can do it. Jump up high, jump up tall, now touch your toes. And that way it works really well when we mix. Now, if we have a big group, like 40 kids, we can break it into sections. I'll have the first group will be K through 2 or K through 1, and then 2 through 5 or 2 through 4, and then the preteens go.
My son has learned a tremendous amount from this program. He's learned to get along with others, and he's had a ball playing, and He never wants to leave when I come to pick him up. He loves it.
Parent communication in the past was really at a lull, and I think we're starting on the brink of getting that communication started in a better way, and possibly having the parents stay, or maybe getting the parents to join in with catch activities, or having family nights with catch activities, trying to get catch more so into other programs and other areas of the YMCA, or getting parents more involved at the sites.
Over the last 3 years, we've had a lot of good parent volunteers have jumped in, tried it, laughed, and said, "Oh my God, this is fun. This is crazy, but this is fun." And they keep asking me, you know, how's it going? Are my kids really getting involved? And I said, yeah, they really are.
The thing that we're really enjoying in Rochester is we're trying to get a single cohesive message distributed through multiple agencies. So if doctors, child care centers, schools, community agencies like churches or YMCAs are coming across with the same message, then everyone will really start to believe it. Kind of like, you know, quit smoking. You know, 20 years ago, if you asked people that they couldn't smoke in a job or smoke in a bar, they probably would have said you're crazy. But now we've come across with very cohesive messages and a number of major policy changes. So obesity is going to have to follow somewhat of a similar pattern, but it's probably going to be more difficult.
One of the great things about this program is it's becoming ingrained in the culture of the institution. And for instance, as we work with this charter school, and this charter school is primarily inner city children, 200 of them, and we provide the aquatics and the physical education. It's no longer acceptable for us to just run physical education games. We are implementing the catch curriculum. So that's becoming the standard for our Y. And the more we do that and implement it into our day camps and our resident camps and those types of things, we'll have that piece. I think the true measure of this catch initiative will be whether it has life beyond the grant and life beyond what is the fad phase, and whether it will really be part of the culture of the Y, like aquatics is or camping is. That's the key thing.
But catch is a great program, and it's turnkey, and people can do it. And it's exciting, and kids have a great time. No matter what anybody wants to say, you go to any one of our sites where the leader is strong, and you watch these kids doing catch, they're having a good time and they're moving. And that's really the bottom line that we've wanted to do.
I invite anybody to come down here, come down to the YMCA, and see what we do. Jump in, try with me. You'll have fun.
Quite ironically, we found that some of the neighborhood organizations were much more willing to adapt sooner than we were. And that's, sometimes that occurs. But I think the learning is that there are children and families that are being affected positively by this program. And we didn't have to conduct a mega study to make that happen. You had already done that. And that's really impressive for our funders and important for our outcomes. But more importantly, to me, it's one kid at a time being affected through this program.
What you doing?